She was a registered dietitian and she wanted to end her life. Why? Because everything she was taught about nutrition was wrong. What if I told you the foods you were told to fear, meat, butter, eggs, are the very ones that could save your life? Hi, my name is Marc Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach. This is part of my highlights presentation series, Why Everything You Know About Nutrition is Wrong. Okay? So let's get on with this. The registered dietitian was suicidal. Despite following every rule she'd been taught, Michelle Hurn found herself physically broken and mentally shattered. Low-fat diets, calorie counting, plant-heavy eating. She'd done everything right according to her professional training. Yet there she was, exhausted, malnourished, battling depression, so severe she wanted to end her life. Then she broke every rule. She tried a low-carb, meat-based diet. Her muscle pain vanished. Her anxiety lifted. Her depression cleared. The change was so dramatic it forced her to question everything she'd learned during years of professional education. What would you do if your health was restored by doing the opposite of everything you were taught? She asked. The question became the foundation of a movement challenging the very core of modern nutrition science. So, the fundamental assumptions are broken. Michelle's story exposes something deeply flawed in our nutritional guidelines. When someone trained, disciplined, and compliant with official recommendations becomes sick because of those rules, we have a systematic problem. The assumptions underlying modern nutrition aren't just misguided, they're fundamentally broken. Assumption 1. Fat is dangerous, especially saturated fat. The premise drove the demonization of red meat, butter, eggs, and full-fat dairy. Yet, when people remove industrial carbohydrates and increase these very fats, they heal physically and mentally. Assumption 2. Calories in, calories out controls health and weight. The calorie model treats humans like combustion engines, but our hormones, satiety, signals, and mitochondrial function respond differently to different foods. The eat less, move more mantra fuels disordered eating and psychological burnout. Assumption 3. Whole grains and vegetables are universally health promoting. Plant-based nutrition has become the moral doctrine, yet these foods can be inflammatory, high in anti-nutrients, and inadequate in essential nutrients like bioavailable iron, B12, and fat-soluble vitamins. Assumption 4. Meat is dangerous and unnatural. This belief is ideological, not biological. Humans evolved as apex predators. Animal foods provide the most nutrient-dense, complete nutrition for human physiology. Modern guidelines serve ideology, industry, and inertia, not human biology. Why institutions doubled down on failure? The evidence for animal-based nutrition continues accumulating. Harvard research shows 95% of carnivore dieters report improved overall health, with 91% experiencing better hunger control and 89% gaining more energy. Yet medical and nutritional establishments dig deeper into failed recommendations. Why? Institutional inertia protects itself. Once guidelines become dogma, careers and reputations depend on maintaining them. Changing direction threatens the entire system's credibility. Industry profits from sickness. Processed food companies thrive on shelf-stable, high-carb products. Pharmaceutical companies depend on chronically ill populations. Animal-based nutrition reverses conditions like diabetes and autoimmune disorders, threatening recurring revenue streams. Medical education is incomplete. Most physicians receive fewer than 20 hours of nutrition education, often filtered through industry-funded paradigms. They're trained to manage symptoms, not address root causes through diet. Academic ego resists change. Researchers who built careers on fat is bad find it difficult to admit they may have harmed people. When nutrition becomes moral identity, it becomes immune to data. To reverse course, institutions would need to admit, we made you afraid of the foods your ancestors thrived on and made you sick. That level of humility is rare in bureaucratic systems. And ultimately, as I keep saying, follow the money. This is just a quick glimpse at the fact that all of the big food, big pharma, and health insurance companies are all intertwined in terms of ownership. You're not going to get them to change stuff very easily and very quickly because it hurts the bottom line. Okay, the biological truth hidden in plain sight. Human evolution tells a different story than modern guidelines. Archaeological evidence shows meat consumption began at least 2.6 million years ago, marking a remarkable expansion in human diets. Our digestive anatomy reflects this carnivorous heritage. Humans have less than 20% of gastrointestinal tract devoted to the colon, compared to great apes at over 50%. We have approximately 70% small intestine, similar to carnivores, while great apes only have 15 to 25%. This anatomical difference matters. Great apes need extensive colons to ferment low-quality plant materials. Humans developed smaller colons and longer small intestines to efficiently absorb nutrients from calorie-dense animal foods. The shift to agriculture tells an even more revealing story. Studies of 21 societies transitioning from foraging to farming show deteriorating health in 19 cases, with increases in infectious diseases, dental problems, and nutritional deficiencies. Archaeological evidence from prehistoric Ukraine shows hunter-gatherers were universally free of tooth decay, while early farmers had cavities in 9.5% of their teeth. The introduction of starch-rich crops marked the beginning of widespread dental disease. We're not just advocating for a diet, we're pointing toward our biological heritage. What the transition actually looks like. Moving to carnivore eating means metabolic reprogramming. Your body shifts from glucose dependency to fat burning. This process unfolds in a very predictable phases. Weeks 1 to 2, the uncoupling phase. Insulin levels drop, glycogen stores deplete, your body learns to burn fat and ketones. Hunger reduces dramatically, mental clarity emerges in moments, sleep often improves, but fatigue and brain fog may appear as your system adapts. Electrolyte balance shifts, potentially causing headaches or cramps, what many call the keto flu. Weeks 3 to 4, fat adaptation. Mitochondria shift into beta oxidation. That's burning fat. Hunger causes cues normalize. Ghrelin and leptin recalibrate. Energy becomes clean and steady. Cravings vanish. Blood sugar flattens. Your gut microbiome adjusts, sometimes causing temporary digestive changes. Okay? Week 4 and beyond, the rewired phase. Metabolic flexibility emerges. Inflammation drops. Hormones rebalance. Skin clears, joint pain fades, mental focus sharpens, emotional calm deepens, fat loss becomes consistent, especially around the midsection. People describe it as switching from a rusty bicycle to a high-performance engine. The transition requires patience. Your microbiome, enzymatic profile, and electrolyte handling all change. This transition, some turbulence is normal, especially coming from high-fiber diets. But what you won't experience: constant hunger, blood sugar crashes, afternoon energy slumps, or obsessive thoughts about food. The psychology of biological rebellion. Carnivore eating appeals to more than physiology. It offers psychological liberation from institutional failure. Most people arrive at carnivore burned by chronic illness, dismissed by doctors, exhausted by calorie counting, and demoralized by dietary approaches that never delivered results. When carnivore says, "You're not crazy, you've been misled, you have the tools to heal," it hits something primal. The diet becomes a proxy rebellion against industrial food lies, medical gaslighting, bureaucratic groupthink, and internalized shame around weight and hunger. That moment when someone eats fatty meat for breakfast, skips lunch without crashing, goes all day without food obsession, and sleeps pain-free without medication represents more than metabolic change. It's existential relief. They're not just reversing disease, they're reversing decades of gaslighting. This liberation can slide into ideology if we're not careful. The goal shouldn't be rejecting systems simply to rebel. The goal is reclaiming biological sovereignty to restore truth, trust, and vitality. Your nutritional birthright. If you've struggled with health for years while following conventional advice, understand this. You are not the problem. You are not weak, lazy, or non-compliant. You are not a failure. You've been doing your best in a system never built to heal you, a system that manages disease, suppresses symptoms, and blames you when it doesn't work. Your body is intelligent, ancient, and resilient. It's been trying to survive on fuel it was never designed to use. You are not beginning a diet, you are returning to a birthright. You're stepping out of a narrative requiring permission, labels, and calorie apps to be well. You're eating a process of remembering what biological freedom means. The path may feel unfamiliar. It may be uncomfortable initially, but on the other side waits something most people haven't experienced in years. Clarity, peace with food, hunger that makes sense, energy that lasts, and quiet confidence that your body knows what to do when it finally has what it needs. The truth often starts on the fringe, right up until people begin to heal. If you're ready, take the first step, not because you're broken, but because you're done pretending you are. Let's rebuild from the inside out. Alright, I want to thank you all for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the appropriate section. If you have any ideas for things that you want to see coming up on additional videos, because remember, this is a community. I'm here to try to help you find the answers you're looking for. Let me know what you're looking for. And as I do, a lot of my videos come from my questions from my listeners. Alright? If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, share this video with someone who may need it. It does help this channel a great deal and may help a friend of yours. Thank you so much.